conflict was begun on the timing and terms of others. It will end in a way and at an hour of our choosing.
All right, y'all, welcome back to Combat Arms channel. Okay, so today we're checking out a video about the Ranger Regiment. So that is the 75th Ranger Regiment here in the U.S. Army. Now, I have checked out a few videos that kind of involve the U.S. Army Rangers, and I have worked with them a lot in the past, and I gotta say, they are super professional, very lethal units. Now, I know I don't normally talk about U.S. units, but this is definitely going to be the exception. So this video is going to be about their legacy in Afghanistan, which is going to be pretty interesting to kind of sum all that up, about 20 years worth, in about 7 minutes. And I guess we'll also learn a little bit about kind of what it looked like in the early GWAT days. So let's go ahead and check it out.
Oh my God, another plane has just hit. It hit another building, flew right into the middle of it. Yes, that was definitely looked like it was on purpose.
Damn, definitely a somber intro.
The United States military has begun strikes against Al-Qaeda terrorist training camps and military installations of the Taliban regime in Afghanistan.
Damn, the old school footage.
Is on bended knee as we mourn the loss of thousands of our citizens.
Ooh, okay, so seeing it kind of transition to more modern footage is actually pretty freaking awesome. And again, since the Global War on Terror was so long, seeing the Rangers in like 2004, versus what they look like in 2019 even, is going to look very, very different. So kind of seeing that sort of legacy and that development, that kind of growth and change of the Ranger Regiment through those clips is going to be interesting to see as well.
I can hear you, the rest of the world hears you, and the people who knocked these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
That's a great speech. Oh, jeez. Damn, just run into the dust cloud.
It is in our vital national interest to send an additional 30,000 U.S. troops to Afghanistan.
This conflict was begun on the timing and terms of others. It will end in a way and at an hour of our choosing.
Man, and it's so weird to think about, because the Global War on Terror, the entire time it was happening, it started off when I was, really young, and the entire time it was happening, I was interested in the military, kind of thinking about it. So kind of seeing myself in the military, I kept seeing like clips online or clips in the news of kind of what those operations were looking like. And I was like, damn, okay, so this is kind of what I'm going to be, getting in the mindset for. And again, I kept transitioning slightly until I actually joined the Marine Corps Infantry in 2012. So it's just kind of, this is summarizing a lot of kind of what I was thinking, a lot of what I was feeling. And when you think about the Ranger Regiment, they were kind of like the tip of the spear for all of that. So definitely a great perspective to take when you're talking about the summation of the Global War on Terror. Are we gonna get some interviews now? That must have been such a crazy feeling for people who served the entirety of the Global War on Terror, who went into Afghanistan early on and then potentially went back when it was
I'm Kurt Donaldson.
ending.
I'm the Regimental Command Sergeant Major. I've got 18 deployments to Afghanistan. I had the opportunity to jump in here 19 October 2001 with, I was in Charlie Company 375. We had elements of A Company and battalion headquarters and regimental headquarters.
Dude.
I think you've had numerous generations of Rangers come through the Ranger Regiment, starting back in 2001, that have served here, and they've done so honorably, and they've done everything we've asked them to do. You got 20 years of Rangers that have answered the nation's call in Afghanistan. I think looking back, I couldn't have done it any better with better folks. I've had the opportunity to serve with some absolute great Americans over here. And
that is a lot of freaking streamers right there. Holy cow. Yeah, and that's a great way of putting it. Like, great Americans for sure. Again, kind of thinking about all the Rangers that I've served with, just very solid people, just very cool to be around. At the same time, they were also very lethal as far as like their tactical proficiency, their physical fitness. Again, it's kind of like what I wished the Marine Corps Infantry was like. And I'm not saying the Marine Corps infantry kind of sucked. Very kind of similar people going into the Marines as far as like not necessarily wanting to be like kind of the standard, wanted to challenge themselves a little bit more, but at the same time wanted to be a part of that brotherhood and just really be focused on being in a unit that is lethal and ready for conflict. And the Rangers is definitely that unit. So whenever I talk to them, it's those guys who were, you know, probably combat arms or, you know, wanted to be in this combat arms element or role, but they wanted to be in it with a unit that was going out there and getting work done. Because, you know, if you're going to be in the Rangers, you are going to be going to conflict. So those guys definitely had that type of mindset.
Over here, and I continue to keep up with the ones I can online, and we appreciate the service and the continued service to the nation and the Rangers, past, present, and future.
Jeez, that guy is salty, man.
Colonel Todd Brown. This is I think it's my 14th deployment. That's at least what the S1 came. The force that we came here with nearly 20 years ago is not the same force that we're leaving with. When we came here, we didn't even know what a UAV was, and now we deal with those each and every single day.
That's funny.
When we came here, we had no robots in the 75th Ranger Regiment. Now we use them all the time. And so when you look at scope and scale and the mass that a Ranger battalion, a Ranger regiment can bring to the fight, that is something people recognize, people highlight, and it's something that we'll continue to rely upon. As we kind of collapse, you have the ability to secure something. Good luck attacking a Ranger battalion in the defense. It's not going to work out for you. The world is getting more complex. It's not getting less complex. And there will be friction. There will be fights in the gray zone. There will be places where people will test our resolve. And the best thing to do is to send a Ranger battalion when you want to make a statement.
Dude, that's a great way of putting it for sure. And again, those guys, the guys who join the Ranger Regiment, are those guys who want to be a part of that. And, you know, they're definitely not trying to steer away from it for sure. Yeah, I got to say, he put it very well. Like, in talking about just the technology alone, it's developed significantly. And it goes to show that, you know, the Rangers, of course, it involves a type of mentality and it attracts a type of mentality, but at the same time, of course, they're staying modern, they're staying up to date, and making sure they kind of maintain that overmatch capability as far as being able to have that equipment to give them the edge, in addition to kind of just, again, the quality of people that you have inside of the unit.
We'll be complete with all rehearsals. All property will be transferred. We'll be Maxpro trained for our drivers in Bravo 175.
Oh man, that's so crazy to see.
Additionally, Great Wall path will be sealed, and ECP-3 will be closed. Any questions, sir? I'll be followed by Alpha 17560.
Oh my gosh, that's historic. Being a part of that, man. I would have loved to be a fly on the wall for that. Jeez. Fully loading those things out. Again, that must have been a crazy feeling, because these guys have, even if they weren't there themselves when they showed up, when, you know, we first got into Afghanistan, hearing it from their seniors and stuff, kind of what the old GWAT looked like, what it meant to them, being a part of closing it out would mean a lot for sure. It's great that it was so documented. I mean, I never saw clips like this for us leaving Afghanistan. Contemplating all the work they put in, try and add some stability, some semblance of peace, and just kind of leaving like that. Yeah, definitely a weird feeling for a lot of people. they really did it embody the Ranger Creed. Just badasses, man.
As we move into uncertain times, we will always have Rangers that are prepared to go and fight in our nation's wars. We've never changed our standards. We will continue to uphold our standards. We'll continue to live our Ranger Creed, and we'll be always ready to get after the enemy wherever that may be. I can guarantee you.
That's awesome. Oh, I don't remember seeing that, dude. Holy cow. That is an awesome display right there, man. Yeah, the National Infantry Museum was great when I went. And again, it's just one of those museums that you really kind of want to spend a little bit more time at, because even with a display like this, you could easily spend like 30, 45 minutes just kind of reading and appreciating everything, kind of what it means to be like a Ranger, talking about this particular display. But at the same time, now that, you know, we've kind of left Afghanistan, a lot of those displays are going to kind of, it shifts the meaning a little bit as well, because you kind of understand what they went through, what kind of sacrifices they made, and what kind of work they put in, and what that work looked like. And then kind of thinking about it like that really kind of changes the meaning. But just seeing stuff like this, again, it's just a great snapshot of you know, what the Ranger Regiment actually is and kind of what it means to be in that unit. Now, again, a lot of people in the Marine Corps infantry that I serve with, they all served in the Marine Corps infantry specifically because, again, it was kind of like a higher level of discipline and esprit de corps, and just what it means to be a part of that Marine Corps infantry history, kind of with what the Marine Corps has done before. But at the same time, a lot of them kind of wanted to be at the forefront, be that kind of America's 911 response force. But at the same time, like talking to the Rangers, those guys, they're just always busy. I mean, they're easily the busiest people that I've talked to for any extended period of time. At least comparing it to the Marine Infantry, like those guys are just always out there. And again, their mission set is a little different. How they deploy is a little different. Just the size of their force is obviously different. So different things to consider. But yeah, if you're trying to join a particular unit that is kind of always going to be involved in the conflict in one shape or form, it's going to be the Rangers. And again, that's kind of why a lot of people are pushed to join them and motivated to join them, because they want to be a part of that. But yeah, very, very awesome video. Again, kind of like a somber start for sure, which I can appreciate. Again, kind of talking about this. It's not always meant to be like that recruitment video where it's just a bunch of like crazy action and you just get like hyped up. There's a time and a place for that for sure, but something like this definitely means a lot more, especially when you're talking about the entire legacy of this unit in Afghanistan specifically. Again, pretty much 2 decades of a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of lost lives, and yeah, a lot of memories for a lot of different people. So it's kind of awesome that they were able to bring in some of them and get their interviews, especially people who were there at the beginning. 18 tours to Afghanistan is pretty freaking wild. Like, golly, that, I mean, he's pretty much seen everything, the entire shift of Afghanistan, first person, which is definitely different and more meaningful for sure. But let me know what you guys think. Of course, if you guys served in the 75th Ranger Regiment at any point, let me know how it was for you as far as that mentality of what it means to serve in the Ranger Regiment and what it means to be called a Ranger. Because those guys definitely walk around with some swagger, definitely deserved as well. But it's pretty interesting to kind of talk to them and get their experiences firsthand. So if you guys were a part of that, let me know. If you guys are a part of that, let me know kind of what it means to you and kind of why you wanted to join the unit as well. Because I think we'd all kind of appreciate that mentality and that mindset and getting some insight into that as well. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you have any other videos like this about any other units, whether it be their kind of lineage or history, not necessarily specifically with the Global War on Terror, I'd like to check that out as well. Again, kind of getting the history portion of everything makes it that much more meaningful and again, kind of insightful to be able to understand what these guys are thinking about going into this unit and what's kind of pushing them or motivating them into being in a unit like that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. That is it for this video. I'll see you on the next one.